So, in a very interesting turn of events, one of the alleged male escorts involved in Diddy and Cassie's freak offs, this entire court case that we just witnessed, is now suing Cassie. We're going to get into it after a word from our sponsor.
Want a live interview with Viral Hip Hop News? Email me, Sam Ant, at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. Let's go.
If you are an artist, an entrepreneur, if you want your music or your brand promoted here on Viral Hip Hop News, email me. You see the email below. dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. That is dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. One of the sponsors who have taken advantage of a great promotional opportunity is my good people over at Med Leaf Dispensary, servicing all of your hemp and CBD needs. If you are in the Atlantic County area and want some good flower, go to MedLeaf Dispensary, 201 Philadelphia Avenue, Egg Harbor City, New Jersey, 08215. Let them know Viral Hip Hop News sent you. Appreciate the good people over at MedLeaf Dispensary. Let's keep working. Let's keep doing our thing. All right. So, like I alluded to, one of the male escorts involved in Diddy and Cassie's freak-off trial, in particular named Clayton Howard, is now filing a lawsuit against not only Diddy but also Cassie for things he alleged were not exactly true during her testimony, and some very disgusting things that he alleged that she did while these freak offs occurred. I'm going to play, well, matter of fact, before I play the clip, I want to share the article about the situation, and then I'm going to play the clip of him actually speaking. So let's go ahead and read this real quick. This is by way of TMZ. It says Clayton Howard, one of the male escorts, prosecutors say Diddy hire, is dragging Diddy and Cassie to court and says Cassie gave him a STD and got an abortion after he got her pregnant. Now, Howard says he went by Dave when he was hired for freak-offs with Diddy and Cassie, making the salacious claims in a new lawsuit obtained by TMZ. The escort claims he contracted an STD from having sex with Cassie and says he impregnated her and she aborted the pregnancy without telling him, and he alleges she continued having unprotected sex with him. Howard is one of 7 male escorts federal prosecutors in Diddy's criminal case say were transported across state lines for the purposes of prostitution. He claims he was hired for freak-offs with Diddy and Cassie starting back in 2009 and says he, for more than 5 years, was trafficked for the purpose of commercial sex, using him as entertainment to satisfy their sexual fetishes and personal ambitions. Now, Howard also claims that Diddy and Cassie drug manipulated and traumatized him while themselves engaged in toxic, domestically abusive relationship that often became violent. And I'll stop sharing right there, because we also have a clip of Clayton Howard speaking on this lawsuit and telling us why he feels the way he feels. We're going to play the clip, and then you'll get my reaction. Let's listen to it together. All right, let's do it.
So good morning. I am Dave, the man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie, Cassandra Ventura, for 8 years to be her male provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. And because I was the best in bed, guess what? I was given this arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. Now, at the time, legally, I didn't know my rights as well as I do now. I didn't create this conflict with Cassandra Ventura. She created it with me. She's the one who decided to bring up things that happened over 10 to 15 years ago to hold Sean Combs accountable for what was a partial truth. She's the person who introduced me to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's the person who told the U.S. Attorney's Office about our relationship. So in essence, those out there who want to hate on me, who want to say that I'm attacking Cassie, you should realize the truth, that Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that. That Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who would choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on the course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset, people. She should have never gotten on the stand and created further liability for herself by telling more of the lie that she created to get this man sent to prison for his life. She made a mistake when she got on the stand, people. She made a mistake when she got on the stand and lied about the events with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard is a victim of Cassandra Ventura. Clayton Howard didn't ask to be in a relationship with Cassandra Ventura while she was sleeping with numerous men per week. I get it. You all think I was a nasty male prostitute sleeping with women, all different women all the time. It actually didn't work like that. To have certain types of people that can pay you that well, what you really have to do is you have to focus on people who are affluent. And affluent people don't engage in activities like that. So I might have had a client once a month. The truth is I was only a male escort for 2 years. I continued in the profession because Cassie and Diddy continued to pay me very well. And I was an ex-con. I needed money. Yes, I was trapped in the situation. I'll admit that. I didn't know what to do. But does that mean I should be victim shamed because the same thing that happened to women all the time happened to me as a man? No. And for those women out there, for you black women, who choose to shame me as a black man for telling my truth, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's probably pretty much all I have to say. You will not see me too much in the media. I don't need the public to believe me. I just need a jury of my peers and 12 people to believe me in the court. And thanks to the testimony of Cassie during the trial of Sean Combs, I have that. Thank you for watching. Stop victim shaming. Thank you.
Couple things that I would love to say right now. One, I was wondering, why the hell didn't he say this in court? Because it sure could have helped the case and bring some more understanding to the case. Why didn't you say this in court? Why say this now? Well, it says that Howard claims his dealings with Diddy and Cassie left him physical, psychological injury, lost wages, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I want to get to. He was not called as a witness, but was mentioned several times during his testimony in Diddy's trial. A federal agent testified that Clayton's stay at Four Seasons and a flight from NYC to LA, all paid by Diddy. So he was named in it, but he was never called to testify. Was he not called to testify because we were about to hear some of the things that we just heard? Or was he not called to testify because we were going to hear that, in fact, Cassie had a lot more control and a lot more of her hand on the buttons, making moves and things like that than we previously assumed? Maybe so. But I don't see any victim here. I'm just going to be completely honest. Now, listen, I don't know about the male escort world. I'm not sure how it works. Never done it. Never dived into the male escort world. I don't know how it works, right? But if you ask me, if you put yourself out there as a male escort, I'm sure you're dealing with a lot more of the same sex than you are of the opposite sex. say that to say that you're involved in this lifestyle, you know exactly what you're signing up for. This is business transactions. You're doing your thing. If you're a heterosexual man and most of your clientele happens to be of the same sex, then when someone of the opposite sex reaches out to you, in my opinion, I feel like it'd be a little more energy brought to that situation. One, because you're probably, from a personal perspective, a little more physically attracted to that person of the opposite sex. So it wouldn't be as hard to take their money. And if you see high celebrity profilers like a Cassie and a Diddy paying you money, then I'm sure that there was a lot of things that you enjoyed doing as well. I don't know that. He may have got the call and got upset and said, you know what, I really don't want to have sex with Cassie tonight, but I got to do it because they're making me do it. They put drugs in my system. I just like we talk about some of these women railroading men and things like that, I think this is a similar situation. I'm curious to see how other people are going to think about it, because now that it is of the opposite sex, will we continue to have the same energy now that it is of the opposite sex accusing Cassie of these things? Will we have the same energy? We'll see. One also something that I cannot stand that I'm seeing too much of, we're weaponizing the fact that I'm a black man and these black women are going against me, or I'm a black woman and these black men are going against me. Listen, you may have isolated situations where it seems like the people loudest are the people who look just like you, but you can equally look down the line and I'm sure see dozens of hundreds of black women supporting you and supporting this situation. I'm not going to sit back and act like women in general, in particular black women, don't support their men, don't support victims, don't support people that are out here telling their truth. 100%. Now, you may have some that are emotionally scarred from what they heard in that case and attach their emotional connection to the case. So therefore, they can never see Diddy as a victim. They'll always see him as a monster. They'll always see Cassie as a victim, excuse me. And anybody going against her is merely trying to take power away from her some more. Hence, drawing that divide between black men and black women. And I just think that's a terrible, corny ass excuse. I'm tired of that being weaponized. I'm tired of that being the topic of conversation when it comes to us. Nah, you're out here, you're making alleged claims. You're going to have people that do not agree with it. It's going to be loud. It's going to be very aggressive because social media allows people to get on there and say whatever the fuck they want to say, from the comfortability of their own home, being able to type without any type of repercussion or consequence behind it. So you're going to hear the most ignorant, vile shit known to man. And like I said, I do not believe you're a victim. But if you're going to sue and they're going to take it to court and we're going to see things laid out and there's a dollar amount and the court gives it to you, hey, I'll wipe my hands with it and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel about the situation. That's how I feel about it. I don't know if the dude was emotionally scarred for real. I don't know if he took this as an opportunity, because there's a lot of opportunists out here to say, okay, this is in a public light. My name is in this. I was not brought to the stand. My voice was not heard. Maybe some people told him he does have a lawsuit. He said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go get mine. I was a former ex-con. I don't know what his financial situation is like now, but if he can get $10, $20 million thrown in his bank account because of this, I'm sure it seems like the smart move to him. But again, I'm going to sit here and say now, I don't see no victim in this situation. And I'm sorry, maybe I'm wrong, but a male escort, a female escort, if you decide to sell your body and you're not being trafficked or anything crazy like that, drugged and thrown overseas to do it, if you're sitting at home and you say, you know what, I'm going to sell some dick or I'm going to sell some ass to get some bread, you made that choice. So whoever comes and pays you for these business transactions, you made that choice. No one told you to put yourself out there as an escort and sell your ass or sell some dick for some money. No one told you to do that but you. So there is no victim in that. And no one told you to go back and back and back. Just like no one told Cassie to make those calls. Just like no one told Diddy to whoop her ass outside of that Intercontinental Hotel. Excuse me. These are choices that grown people make. And it's unfortunate that we had to see a very toxic, a very disgusting relationship brought into the public eye. But now, this is the repercussions behind it. But y'all leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the situation. Once again, Clayton Howard, male escort involved in Diddy and Cassie freak-offs, is now suing Cassie and calling her a flat-out liar. Y'all heard him. What do y'all think about this in the comment section below? Leave a comment. Let me know. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Sam Ant, CEO of the Brand Viral Hip Hop News. Till next time, till next story. I love each and every one of y'all. Love yourselves. Love yours. Keep your freaky ass business to yourself. I'm out of here, man. Peace.